One of my main complaints with buying gaming branded products is that they typically include tacky features that add unnecessary cost. I'm looking at you, RGB LEDs. Thankfully, today up for review is a gaming spec but non-gaming branded notebook from ASUS, the Vivobook N552VW. It boasts all of the same things that I would want in a gaming notebook, but without all of the ridiculous flash and gaudiness that its gaming cousins offer. So let's take a closer look. The finish of the Vivobook is an overall black and silver design scheme with a brushed metal spiral design on the lid of the notebook, which also includes a white LED illuminated ASUS logo. The notebook features a 15.6-inch 1080p IPS touchscreen display, which had limited or no overtly noticeable backlight bleed on the review sample that I was sent. The keyboard is complete with a full 10-key numpad and full white backlight. The backlight on the keyboard was bright enough in dark environments, but there was slightly more light bleed out of the side of the keycaps than I would like. Overall, the keys were pretty good for typing, a little mushy, but nothing that really stood out if I hadn't been looking for it. Just above the keyboard, there's a 2.0 speaker setup from Bang & Olufsen, which was fairly clear and crisp even at the highest volume settings. I really appreciated having top-mounted speakers because it made it much simpler for content consumption to not have to worry about the placement of the notebook on a surface to make sure that the audio was coming out correctly, as is typically the case with bottom-mounted speakers. I wish more notebook models came with this speaker orientation. And with regards to the touchpad, its smooth surface did a pretty accurate job of tracking, and while there's no dedicated left and right click buttons, I also never struggled with making sure I was activating the correct button. It was properly responsive. With regards to I/O, on the left of the device, there's the power in, mini DisplayPort, and HDMI out for video, a gigabit Ethernet jack, a single USB 3.0 port, as well as a USB 3.1 Type-C port, which doubles as a Thunderbolt 2 port. On the right, there's the combined headphone and microphone port, another two USB 3.0 ports, a DVD drive, and a Kensington lock. The 720p webcam is okay, not the best clarity that I've seen, but it's sufficient. The audio recording is about the same. It'll get the job done for video chat, but nothing to write home about. Now let's talk about internal specs. My model of the N552VW came with an Intel Core i7-6700HQ processor, an NVIDIA GTX 960M dedicated GPU, 8GB of DDR4 2133 RAM, a 256GB solid-state drive for a boot device, and a 1TB 5400 RPM storage hard drive, and an outdated 802.11 wireless and Wi-Fi setup. Most of the specs on this notebook are variable, allowing for a different CPU, different VRAM amounts on the GPU, different system RAM, different resolution panels, different disk drives, and different Wi-Fi components. Practically, what all of those specs means on the model that I received is that the notebook is perfectly capable of handling some light gaming or video editing, and in my testing was able to provide 2.5 to 3 hours of general productivity use, including web surfing and content consumption, on its 4-cell 3200 mAh battery. The 256GB solid-state boot drive is more than sufficient to host your OS for quick system booting and all of your essential applications that you want to launch quickly. The 1TB hard drive I would have preferred to be 7200 RPM, but since the SSD is a higher capacity, it's not too much of a downfall. My main gripe with the model that I was supplied for review was the fact that it only had wireless N and was limited to transfer speeds of 133 megabits per second, which slowed down a lot of my network file transfers to my NAS. But as I mentioned, there is an AC version of this notebook out there. Wrapping things up, the N552VW Vivobook is practically everything I would look for in an entry-level gaming or high-end productivity laptop. I really enjoyed the brushed metal look and prefer the white illuminated keycaps to the red illumination on ASUS's gaming notebooks. The top-mounted speakers and 15-inch IPS screen were perfect for Netflix, YouTube, or productivity sessions. And the keyboard and touchpad provide a pretty satisfactory experience. Overall, especially with the variable configuration options that the notebook has, it really doesn't have any major flaws and stands out as a respectable option for anyone in the market for a mid-range notebook. I definitely give it my 2 thumbs up for whatever metric you want to graph that on. And with that conclusion, I'd like to thank ASUS South Africa for sending the Vivobook N552VW over for review. Like this video, guys, if you found it helpful at all. Dislike it if you disagree with me or my conclusions. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of these mainstream consumer product reviews as opposed to solely gaming-oriented devices. You can subscribe to stay up to date on all of my tech-related content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.